Alright, here's the nighttime update for Thursday, September 20th, 2012. Today I finally got my master test kit for the water. As you, in the other videos I know I'm probably going to get crap about this, but I was using test strips just to check the pH, the basic pH, and, well, they were off, to say the least. pH has been reading 7.5 on the test strips, but once I got my nice little test kit here, saw that the pH was actually up at 8.5. We're up really high. That's where this whole water hardness thing is going to come in, and after this video I'm going to go ahead and dose the system with some of the aquarium salt that I normally use on my other aquariums, because if the water is really hard, the pH will take even longer to drop. I don't want to add a lot of salt and soften the water too much and make it prone to spiking either up or down. So I'm just going to add probably half of the recommended, if even that, by the amount of gallons that are in here of the aquarium salt, and then we'll see, you know, over the next couple days, hopefully the pH will start to drop. We need to get it down to at least 7.2. 7 would be ideal, so 6.8 to 7.2 is the range we're shooting for. At a pH of 8, if I didn't want to worry about eating the fish, I could use the tank and put African cichlids in here, and it would work real well for them, but that's not what we're shooting for. So when it came to the rest of the tests, let's see if I can get some light on this so that we can make some sense of this. Right here we have the standard pH. This is the high range pH. I actually had to use the high range pH, and we were right color-wise between this 8.4 and 8.8. I was a little shocked, but that's okay, you know, it's just a matter of time. It will drop naturally. What I was really concerned about was, since the plants are growing, did I actually get some sort of nutrification from the water from the fish tank that I put in? And we might still be seeing some trace elements, though I really rinsed this system very well after the problem with the kelp solution, and after looking around some more, it seems a lot of the products that are used, especially in this area for hydroponics, are putting all of these poisonous trace elements into their solutions. And I guess how the hydroponic people deal with it and serve up food that they're growing for whoever they're sending it to or selling it to, or for themselves, is they dump the system, and for the last 2 weeks of the growing period they flush them with fresh water. I'm not real comfortable with that, and I'm not real comfortable with the thought that there could be, people selling their products or giving their products to family members that are probably still going to have trace elements of these poisons in them. But I got an ammonia reading of 1 right here in the middle, so we do have the ammonia cycle started. But the nitrite reading was at 0.25, which is a good thing because we want this down. We need nitrites to be able to be turned into nitrates if the system is working. And if the system is working, then we should be seeing some nitrates. And guess what? We were at 20 on the nitrates. So the plants are actually getting some food. 20 to 40 would be... 20 is pretty common. Between 20 and 40 is where we're going to want it. If I see it go too high, then I need to add more grow bed and more plants, because there is basically more food being produced for the plants than the plants can use. And any lower than that, we need more fish once the fish go in. So I'm actually pretty excited. We're going to try and get this pH problem under control, but basically after 3.5, 4 days, the ammonia, nitrite, and nitrates are where they should be. The plants are actually being fed. yeah, there's not much more to say about that. Except that this is how, with all of the information that I've gotten from the different Aquaponics Made Easy, and a lot of different videos that I've been watching and a lot of reading that I've been doing, this is acting exactly how it should, and I'm very excited and I'm very happy about it. So now to the plants. Look at this little tiny leaf that we've been paying attention to. This was that little teeny tiny leaf 2 days ago that was about the size of my nail on my pinky, and look how much it's grown. Get away from there. And then there's already new leaf growth coming out, and it's that way on each and every single plant in the bed right now. There are new leaves coming out. All the leaves that were already out when these videos started are looking awesome. Everything is cranking. Look at the kale. It's hard to see from this angle, but you can see how it's just standing up. And look at how straight standing up these cucumber plants are. They're not leaning over against the side of the bed anymore. And the basil. Look at this little fatty plant. Got some great growth happening here. This is what I'm going to call, since, the flush out of the system on Monday, it's Thursday. We're 3 days into this. The plants are just cranking. The jalapeno. Look how much more green and sprawling everything is than just even last night's video. Now that I'm seeing that the nitrates are about balanced, I was going to put some more plants in there, but I think I'm just going to hold off for a little bit. The next couple days, keep watching the nitrate, and ammonia levels, and of course the pH. That's the big one for the fish. We aren't going to put the fish in. If I put in African cichlid, sure, they'd be a little stressed right now, but they probably live. But that's not what we're going for. We're not going for African cichlids. I want to put something in here that I might actually be able to serve up one day, whether it comes out of this tank or another big or IBC that they're transferred to in the future. But I wanted to bring out, I mentioned a yardstick last night, and I'll go ahead, I don't know, I may attach it to the system, but to put this into perspective, this is a yardstick. And with this yardstick, you can see, with this jalapeno plant, it's basically, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 inches wide right now. And from the edge of the bed, we'll just try and get a shot that might make sense. From the edge of the bed, we're looking at a solid 4.5 going on 5 inches. But from the rock, the plant is 7.5. So maybe tomorrow we'll be able to put this into perspective and see how much vertical growth we get on the jalapeno, and be able to put that into perspective with the rest of the plants in the system. Because sometimes I know it's hard to put this all into perspective, but from my point of view, seeing everything and the way the kale looks, you can see that they have really grown. It's amazing. If anybody is, thinking about getting started in this, there is definitely somebody that has been doing this for a while, has great videos and information, and it's really almost as easy as, if not you know, easier explanation of what I've been trying to do and with these videos and talking about it. His name is Murray Hallam. This is this Australian cat that just really has his stuff together with his systems. You can research a lot of his stuff on YouTube and get some basic, you know, video trailers and maybe try and score some of his DVDs. He has several DVDs, and including a secrets DVD, and then another one where he's showing you, you know, installation of a prefab setup that he's made. I don't have the luxury of having, you know, prefabricated fiberglass boxes and so on. But it all works off of the same principle as the majority of, you know, his systems of this sort. And it is working like a charm. Knock on wood. I'm going to stop doing the afternoon videos just so that I'm not being so geeky and posting 3 videos a day for, you know, anybody that's paying attention to them. I will do the morning update because I always love seeing them in the morning and what happened overnight. And then I'll do these evening updates, and we'll try and make sure that, you know, every day I'm giving you the new readings from the water test kit. So let's keep in mind, we can say that this system started cycling on Sunday afternoon, but I'm actually going to call it after the total water change. You know, we basically had to start all over again as far as what was running through the system at 12:15 on Tuesday morning. So from 12:15 at night, 12:15 a.m. on Tuesday to 8 o'clock p.m. on Thursday. This is where we're at. I think it's amazing. I just love. I mean, they look like they're plastic. They just don't even look real. I can't wait. I can't wait to see these things standing up another 12 inches taller and take in some basil to the people that I work with. And the high, again, it's the 20th of September, and we had a high of, let's see, I'm going to start keeping notes on all of this stuff now. We had a low of 77 and a high of 104. It's just ridiculous. But these plants, now that they're even more established, there wasn't as much droopiness from the kale or the peppers even today. And you can see right there the ammonia, the NH3 was at 1 part per million. The nitrate was at 0.25 ppm. And then there's the nitrite at 0.25, and then the nitrate was at 20. So it can keep as much detail, and hopefully, you know, we'd be able to show a graph after a couple of weeks of what is actually happening in the system with the beds, and, you know, just being in general geek about this kind of stuff, which I just find to be awesome. This is fun. I feel so good being out here messing with this stuff rather than geeking out inside on my computer, and I can't wait to get the second grow bed set up right in this section here. And then I'm already making plans for along this trellis here. I can make a shallower system that runs off of, you know, I can put some goldfish tanks behind this because this actually has depth behind it. So I'll probably just put a goldfish system similar to this that feeds some grow beds with vines to cover all of this and shade this entire area. I've tried it with potted plants, and it was doing real well until we had a storm last year and wiped out all my plants around the pool and everything. It was a lot of money wasted from one storm, and the heat in Arizona is just ridiculous. So, and you have to keep watering them all the time. If they're constantly being watered, like this system is, these vines will probably engulf the house, you know, something out of an Addams Family video or something. But and then if this mango, and it's starting to protrude a little bit, I don't want to dig in and, you know, check it out, but the root was coming out of it, and if it ends up taking off, I had mentioned maybe doing a smaller barrel that will be attached to this area right here, and let the tree, you know, it'll still work off of the same fill drain system. I'll be returning into here and let it grow up, you know, through this area. But I was just thinking earlier while I was talking to my buddy Ben, and it would make more sense to put it on this front part and let it grow up, and then it will shade this entire the entire system during the summer. So we'll cut it back during the winter for maybe more heat or more sun or whatever, but essentially it would create a shade for this tank. So I'm excited about doing that. I might actually attempt to do that this weekend, get that set up. And then I'm going to do the 4-inch strawberry towers here once I see if the nitrates actually start peaking up. And again, we have to remember that once fish go into the system, the nitrates are going to really go up because there's going to be a lot more waste going into the bed. We will need a lot more filtration to deal with the ammonia and waste that is in the tank. But how do we deal with that? We just add more space to grow and more plants to use up the nutrients that are being created. So I'm going to use this vertical space to grow, I don't know what, I mean, the typical thing that they grow is strawberries out of the towers. And the way I see it, anything goes at this point. In one of the Murray Hallam videos, he has papaya trees growing in some of his beds, and they're huge trees that are producing fruit, and they're not supposed to like wet feet, but the feet are only wet for, you know, X amount of minutes, and then it drains, and then it fills, and it drains, and the trees are doing great. So I don't think there's too many things that you won't be able to grow in one of these beds successfully. So if I can get a tree growing off of this, suspended in the air, and shading the system, this is just going to look amazing. I am so excited about what is to come with this system. So I really hope everybody, you know, is digging these videos, and I really hope somebody gets the bug. You know, this is amazing, and it's fun, and it's relaxing, it's very educational, and it's you know, it brings the family around it. My daughter couldn't care less about the plants, but she loves the fish aspect, and she's all, oh Dad, let's get some of this, and let's get that, and let's do this. She doesn't care about the plants though. But anyways, this video is running really long, sorry, but I'll see you in the morning.